Round one of this contest for the vacant Welsh Super Lightweight title. Ciaran Gethin in the black shorts with gold trim. Henry Janes in the black shorts with the white taping around the top. Your referee is Rhys Carter, and your commentators are myself, Ciaran Gibbons, and from Boxing Asylum, Oliver Smith. This is a really anticipated contest within Welsh boxing. The last boxer to hold this Welsh title was the former European champion Jason Cook, who beat Barry Jones for the title back in 2017. A lively start to this contest, Oliver.
Yeah, and an even start as well. It's nice because you've got somewhat the master in Henry Janes against the young boy in KIERAN Gething. But Janes is probably in the form of his life in terms of probably in his last 10 fights. I think he's won 7 or 8 of them. And Gething has had a bit of an up and down pro career, so it makes for an excellent Welsh title fight. And this is what you want. It's a 50-50 contest. I mean, they're just unloading, teeing off on each other now. James landing 2 meaty blows to the head, and he's really winging those shots in, but it makes for a great fight, and this is what you want to see. 2 evenly matched fighters in contesting for a more than worthy title, so a great start, and let's hope for some more.
It's worth noting as well that in his previous contest, Ciaran Gethin contested the Welsh welterweight title, only fought Tony Dixon, a contest he lost on points. And a couple of contests ago, Henry Janes contested the Welsh lightweight title. That was a nice uppercut by Gethin. Henry Janes holds on to try and slow the action down. So it's Henry Janes moving up in weight and Gethin moving down. The fight for this vacant Super Lightweight title, previously held by Jason Cook from my stake. And straight away, I think, Oliver, this is going to be a really difficult contest to score because both boxers are having their moments, both boxers are landing good shots, and it's going to be really, really difficult to split them in this fight, I think.
Probably just shading Henry Janes at the moment. I think he's landing the more single shots, but I definitely think he's landing the better shots to start.
Round 2 of this vacant Welsh Super Lightweight title fight. Gethin in black shorts with gold trim, Janes in the black shorts with white taping across the top. A very close opening round. My colleague from Boxing Asylum, Oliver Smith, slightly edged Henry Janes, but I'm sure there's probably people watching you might have given it to Gethin, who was that type of round. I know in his previous fight, Gethin against Tony Dixon, he was hoping to try and outbox Dixon, but he got dragged into a bit of a fight, and actually it ended up Dixon outboxing him really. So I think he's going to try and be a bit more disciplined in this fight. There was a good left hook he landed to Janes' body. Janes fires back with a looping shot of his own. Speaking to people who've boxed Henry Janes, he's actually quite deceptive. He looks quite basic and then nothing spectacular, but people tell me he's really difficult to spar and really difficult to box against. This is a better round for Gethin, this round 2, Oliver.
It is, yeah, but again, it's close, and I'm just watching it. I mean, I think Janes would probably prefer it having a big old tear up, to be honest. I mean, if it gets into a boxing, an out-and-out boxing match, I think he may may suit Gethin a little bit more, but Janes seems happy planting his feet and teeing off on Gethin, and likewise Gethin does exactly the same as well. But I mean, just there again, he's landing a big right hand. I mean, Gethin's taken it really well, but it's a great fight, great fight, and it's going to be a difficult one to score. I'm probably slightly edging Gethin at the moment, but that's by no means a foregone conclusion.
I think judging by their styles, as you said, Henry Janes probably would prefer just a slugfest, he'd prefer just a stand and trade, whereas Gethin's probably better suited to picking his moments, to stand and trade, maybe land a few shots and use a bit of footwork and movement to break up Janes' attacks. Henry Janes from Cardiff, Gethin from Pontypool. That's good work as Gethin pins Janes on the ropes. Janes returns fire with a good body shot. Henry Janes, the far more experienced fighter in terms of contests. He had 38 fights, 12 victories. Caught Gethin with the right hand as Gethin looked to close the distance. Both boxers loaded up with big shots there, and neither of them landed, but another excellent round.
Tremendous. I've just gone 10-9 to Ciaran Gethin there, but again, it's so close. I mean, it's from the offset now. Henry Janes is happy, getting into a tear-up, planting those feet and looking to land the big shots. Doesn't look like to have the real pop in his punches. I mean, if he did, he'd be an extremely dangerous fighter as well. Gethin, he's took the shots, he's weathered that storm from Janes, and he's landed his own decent shots as well. I just think the quality was there from Ciaran Gethin, but this is a really close fight. It's one each now. I think that's a fair start, and like I said, exuberating first 2 rounds, and if the next 8 go like that, we're in for an excellent night.
I think Henry Janes is the type of fighter he doesn't mind getting hit 2 or 3 times if it means he can land his own big punch. I mean, he seems just willing to walk through punches to land his own punches.
I know what you mean, and I thought it was a good point where you said, I mean, he looks basic. I mean, you look at him now, I mean, he's got, like just white tape around the top of his shorts. It's like, they've pulled him, but I'm not doing him a disservice there, because look, you don't beat the fighters he's beaten by accident, and he's well in this fight at the moment, and you're spot on, he's happy to get hit if it means that he can land his bigger power shots from where he plants his feet.
Henry Janes landed a good right hook to the body. He's landed that shot a few times now in this contest. Ciaran Gethin needs to keep his concentration. He doesn't want to get caught by any silly punches. That's good use of the jab, putting Henry Janes on the back foot. It's a good start to the round for Ciaran Gethin, using his jab well, just to force Henry Janes back. That's a nice left hand by Ciaran Gethin. Henry Janes throws his hooks in a strange sort of way. He throws the punches and he's almost leaning back as he throws the hook.
That was a great right hand there, landed by Henry Janes as well, and Ciaran Gethin just brushed it off. But what you've got to remember, I think there's only so many of them you can take, and you might well, he's just eating another right hand then, and Janes looks at ease when he's planting his feet and winging these shots in. So I mean, it's a tremendous contest, and said I've probably got Janes edging this round at the moment with probably a minute left to go in the third. So a great fight.
And it's going to be another very tough round for the official judge to score, which is the referee Rhys Carter. I'm not envious of Rhys to have to score this one, to be honest with you. There's a couple of good body shots by Ciaran Gethin in close. Janes replies with a shot of his own. Ciaran Gethin, 9 contests, 6 victories, 2 wins by stoppage, 2 defeats and 1 draw. Henry Janes just loves throwing those big looping shots, doesn't he? From any position, really. I think if he ever feels himself getting forced back too much, he just throws in a big looping right hand. Good shot by Gethin. Henry Janes replies with an uppercut on the inside. Another very close round. I'm going to put you on the spot now, mate. And who won that round?
I'm going to edge it to Henry Janes, but that is with no real confidence. I just felt, I thought the uppercut right at the end then probably sealed the deal for Henry Janes. He's landed, like I said, he is happy just to wing these big shots in. But they're landing as well. They're not, like scuffing the gloves or he's missing with some of them, but he is landing. Ciaran Gethin, he's eating the shots. They're not really causing him any problems. But like I said, I think it's a case of he seems a fit lad, and whether he's looking to take Janes down the finishing line just to see if he can outwork him then. But I've got Janes 2-1 up going into the fourth.
Well, I'd probably just slightly edge that round the other way. I'd probably give it slightly to Gethin, which I think just indicates what type of fight it is, how close it is. But you were just saying about the way Henry Janes throws his shots there. I think as soon as he knows the other person's within his punching range, he just lets his hands go, and he knows there's a pretty good chance he's going to land at least half the time. And this round starts pretty much as the other one left off, which is Gethin for the most part going forward, pumping out his jab, and Henry Janes just basically throwing any shot. And there we see it again, left hook, right hook. Gethin using his jab well in this round. This is a very controlled round of boxing, I think, from Ciaran Gethin. He's not overcommitted himself. And just as I say that, they start to go toe-to-toe on the ropes. Another loop-in right hand by Henry Janes, cuffed Gethin on the left-hand side of his head. Gethin's using his jab well this round, Oliver.
He's boxed well this round. It's probably his best round of the fight yet. We've not seen Janes winging those big shots in like he has done for the first 3 rounds. Gethin, that's a great shot, landed straight right there for Henry Janes. His head snapped back, and now Gethin's teeing off, but Janes seemingly shakes it off. What a great fight. But no, I'd say Ciaran Gethin is in control, but it's just started to liven up again.
Yeah, these are two very, very tough guys. I'd like to actually see Henry Janes use his jab a little bit. He seems very happy to lead off with hooks, which in a way makes it a little bit easier for Gethin, because he hasn't got to worry about anything apart from the hooks. That's really the only thing coming at him. This is a good round for Ciaran Gethin as he got Henry Janes pinned on the ropes. Oh, both boxers land solid punches. There's good shots by Henry Janes. The hooks going again. It's a really good contest. Another excellent round, another very close round. Who's scoring that to, Oliver?
I'm awarding that to Ciaran Getthing there. I felt, look, whilst it was a more even finish to the round, I feel that he dominated probably the first 2/3 of the round there. He looked good. He boxed really well as well. Just allowed himself to get engaged into a fight where we've mentioned before, Henry Janes is more than happy to do that. He'll happily stand trade, and he landed an excellent uppercut, Janes. But I felt for the majority of the round, Gethin was in charge, and that's why I've given him the round there.
Yeah, Ciaran Gethin is an intelligent boxer. I've watched him box quite a few times in the amateurs. I watched him win the senior Welsh title in 2015, I think it was. But he has got a tendency of getting drawn into fights, and I think for Gethin, he can perhaps make it, I wouldn't say make it easier, but make it easier for himself if he just uses his jab and straight shots. But of course, Henry Janes will be trying his hardest to do the exact opposite. Good use of the jab again by Ciaran Gethin. He's using it really well now for the last couple of rounds. Henry Janes' work rate has dropped, I'd say, the last round or two. That's better from Janes. Gethin's using his jab well to keep Henry Janes off balance, to stop him, allowing him to get in a position to throw the big hooks. I don't understand why Janes just doesn't use his straight shots, his jab and straight right hands. He seems just content to wing in the wide shots. There is again the looping right hand. Even though it's still a very tough contest, I think Ciaran Gethin slowly taking control, would you say, Oliver?
I'm not too sure, because I would say that Henry Janes has landed some relatively decent shots there, whereas Gethin, I think, has struggled to land anything really meaningful. He's landed a couple of short combinations, snappy ones, but I think he's just struggled to rise. Just landed a decent right hand. But in terms of pinning down James, he seemed quite wiry and being able to get out of range. So I mean, again, he looks comfortable. His work rate's definitely slowed down, but it's a difficult one. I mean, you're right. Why is James not using that jab in the straight shots? It's all hooks, isn't it? All hooks, and I mean, it can become too predictable sometimes. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't really know which way it's going at the moment.
And of course, the hooks are relatively easy to block compared to some of the other shots. That was a low blow by Gethin. The referee, I think, missed it. Now the action continue. Janes misses with a telegraphed right uppercut. Gethin now switching to the body. Good left hook, snaps Janes' head back. As we go into the second half of this contest for the vacant Welsh Super Lightweight title between Ciaran Gethin in the black shorts and gold trim, and Henry Janes in the black shorts with the white tape across the band. My colleague Oliver Smith from Boxing Asylum has Ciaran Gethin 1 round up, but it is a very close contest. The official judge might be seeing it different to us. I mean, what sort of advice would you be giving Henry Janes now to try and get control of this fight again?
I think it's a case of look to land. You start using your jab again. I mean, they're just teeing off on each other at the moment, which is great to watch. But just use your jab. I mean, it's too easy to telegraph big hooks. And look, Ciaran Gethin's not stupid. He knows what's going to be coming, and he's adapted to that now. So just vary your shots a little bit. Use your jab, because when he has used it, he's had a bit of success. He's landed clean when he throws the jab. So start to use that, and just vary your shot combinations rather than, like I say, planting your feet and just looking for big hooks behind the ears and elbows.
And the fight now is following a familiar pattern with Gethin controlling the fight from the centre of the ring, and Janes moving around the outside, and the referees stopped the contest to warn Gethin to keep his shots up. There have been a few punches stray low. Referee Rhys Carter's making sure Henry Janes is fit to continue, and the action goes on. Janes misses with a right hook. And once again, it's a case of Gethin pushing forward and Henry Janes being pushed back onto the ropes. That's a good shot by Ciaran Gethin. Janes momentarily turned southpaw. He's switching back and forth. I don't normally think that's a good thing. Very few boxers can have the ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw.
Janes is tiring. His mouth's constantly open now. He looks like he's breathing heavy, and his work rate's really diminished. I think he's tiring now, and I think the output of Ciaran Gethin is taking its toll. And I mean, he's shown quite a lot of stages throughout this round. He's just landed clean and at will, with not a lot coming back.
And perhaps it's worth noting as well that Ciaran Gethin is 24 years old, whereas Henry Janes is 35, and Henry's been in quite a lot of tough contests as well over the years at a couple of different weight divisions, quite often taking fights at late notice, so a lot more miles on the clock of Henry Janes. Round 7, Gethin against Janes, a very close fight. And we said Henry Janes has to do something to try and change this, and to his credit, he goes out there and launches a two-fisted attack on Gethin. Gethin doesn't seem very phased. Neither fighter have been really seriously hurt in this contest. I think something you pointed out in one of the earlier rounds is that Gethin looks slightly bigger than Henry Janes. Henry Janes, as I mentioned, was moving up in weight for this contest, whereas Ciaran was moving down. And just the size of the shoulders and size of the body, Gethin looks the slightly bigger guy in there. And that as the contest goes on, that may be just a factor. The sheer size of Gethin, as much as anything else, is making it tough for Henry Janes.
Of course, there's a lot there to weigh in yesterday. People forget it wasn't a same day weighing in, so they weighed in yesterday. And you can see the bulk and the size of them now is that they've, I mean, he looks a weight division above, to be honest, Gethin. And in terms of Janes, he's got to put around with, like that, with Gethin when he's pulling him off. And that absorbs energy. People forget that. It's not about, just throwing the shots. You can expand energy from mentally, and also wrestling with him, when it gets up close. So, I mean, Gethin there's landing it well, and Janes does look like he's fatigued quite badly, to be honest. And a good shot there, landed by Ciaran Gethin, but Janes fires back with his own again.
Yeah, got to give credit to Henry Janes, despite all the punches he's taken, and he's taken a few now. He's never looked like quitting. He's always stayed in the contest. He's always been winging shots, trying to just land a punch to change the direction of the fight. I think the key now, looking at it from Ciaran Gethin's point of view, is just concentration. Don't try too hard to get the stoppage. Just try and concentrate on getting the points win, and if the stoppage comes, that's a bonus. It seems now that Henry Janes is content just to wait on the outside and trying to catch Gethin with counter hooks as Gethin moves in.
Yeah, it's spot on, and I think that's showing him probably a result of fatigue as well. He doesn't want to be the forcing the pace himself. He's trying to maybe take gains just a few seconds just to recoup some energy, and he's waiting for Gethin to come in and then catch him as he's coming in, potentially with a low guard, and when all his weight's coming forward, and he can have him walk onto the shot.
both boxers in for probably one of the first time in the contest, see Janes actually trying to use his jab. Good shots to the body, none of them really landed clean, but I'm sure they're having an effect on Henry Janes. It's a good job by Janes, to his credit. He's starting to use the punch. Gethin just content in using straight shots, forces Henry Janes back against the ropes. James' output seems to be dropping rapidly as this contest goes on, Oliver.
It is, yeah, and that's just a sign of fatigue and probably the size as well. I mean, you look more and more now, and Ciaran Gethin just looks naturally bigger than him, and whilst it's a jump up in weight, it's probably one I wouldn't advise for Henry Janes moving forward. Look, he's not been truly outclassed, but at the same time, if he was to carry on, boxing, at this weight regularly, he could come up against higher class opponents who naturally are coming down. And the 10 stone limit's a big weight, is a big division from where big lads can boil down to 10 stone. So I think the lightweight division is probably where he should be looking back down. And there's no reason why he can't contest for a Welsh title again at the lightweight division, because he wasn't outclassed in his defeat for the Welsh title. So he shouldn't be deterred. He can definitely go again. I mean, he's getting some advice from the corner now. That was a bit of a break where some stray taper come off the glove of Gethin.
Yeah, there were quite a lot of people actually who thought that Henry Janes actually beat Gavin Gwynn in that Welsh lightweight contest last year. Janes now has a good couple of jabs by James. We haven't really seen that much of that in this fight. I think the way that Henry Janes fights, he sort of inflicts his style on his opponent, so sort of rough and tumble, willing to throw a few low shots, elbows, anything really, but just the size of Gethin, and to his credit, Gethin's skill hasn't allowed Henry to force his style on the fight, I think.
I'll tell you one fight I would like to see is probably Henry Janes against Jordan Ellison. I think that'd be a great fight. I think the styles have mixed. I mean, to be honest, the styles have mixed really well here, and it's rare you probably see Henry Janes in a bad fight, because a guy who wants to throw big shots all the time, it's just not one. I mean, again, I probably just got him losing the round there, just for sheer quality from Gethin. He's making the rounds competitive without winning him, Henry Janes, in my opinion.
So this is the 9th round of this 10-round contest for the Welsh Super Lightweight title, contested between Ciaran Gethin in the black and gold shorts and Henry Janes in the black shorts with the white tape. This is a vacant title. The last Welsh boxer to hold this title was Jason Cook from my stag. It was a great action in the centre of the ring. We feel here at ringside that this is what Henry Janes needs to do. It just seems he can't sustain the action. I mean, don't forget Henry he's 35 now. He's been in a lot of tough fights. Could be wear and tear as well, taking his toll.
There's some severe swelling under the right eye now of Ciaran Gethin, and that is something that can definitely look. If Janes wants to get buoyed, he's just landed a great left hook then as well. But if Janes wants to be buoyed now and give him something to work for the last minute and a half of this round, and then in the 10th round as well, it's there, because that swelling, if it gets any worse, will definitely impair the vision of Ciaran Gethin.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what caused that swelling, but I'm guessing it might probably a clash of heads, given how quick it has swollen up. To his credit though, Ciaran Gethin is not letting the impaired vision affect his performance. He's still maintaining his discipline, maintaining his good boxing. It's a good right hand by Henry Janes. Ciaran Gethin can't allow himself to get distracted or lose his concentration. This is Gethin's second attempt to win a Welsh title. He lost in October last year in an attempt to win the Welsh welterweight title against Tony Dixon. This is good stuff from Gethin as he got Janes on the ropes. Janes grabs hold. He's looking very tired now. This is really good stuff from Ciaran Gethin. Janes is looking tired. He stumbles. Henry Janes is looking really tired now, Oliver, as this the 9th round.
He's fatigued, isn't he? He looks absolutely exhausted, but he's still throwing shots, and you've got to commend the effort of the 35-year-old Henry Janes. And I've got to admit, I thought he started the run really well as well. I think he saw the wound under the right eye of Ciaran Gethin, and it did spur him on. I mean, he's still landing shots. Now, this is a close round to score, actually, because both fighters have had success landing their own shots.
Yeah, and credit to both these guys. They put on an excellent contest for the crowd here at the Neon Centre in Newport. And Gethin just lands a right hand just as the bell sounds. But that's probably the best round that Henry Janes has had for a while. And you've got to give credit to Ciaran Gethin as well, because he responded to the surge from Henry Janes, and he came back with his own shots, and he did really well towards the end of the round there.
Yeah, and do you know what? I'll probably edge the round to Henry Janes, to be honest, as well. I mean, other people may edge it towards Ciaran Gethin, but I just felt like Henry Janes, like I said, work in the earlier stages of the round probably sealed it for him. Gethin did have his own bits of success, but for Janes, whilst he looked tired, he bored forward and he did land the quality shots, and he's probably edged the round to him there. I mean, I've still got Gethin winning by, I think, 3 points at the moment, going into the last. He just needs to be careful of that right eye. It's swollen quite badly now. The corner have worked on it, but obviously with swelling there's only so much you can do. I mean, if it gets hit again, it's only going to flare up even more.
So here we go, 10th and final round between Ciaran Gethin and Henry Janes. The Welsh Super Lightweight title is on the line. It's been an excellent contest, but we feel that Henry Janes needs a really big last round to have any chance of winning it on the scorecards. And Ciaran Gethin, to his credit, he hasn't really stopped throwing punches the whole fight long. He's obviously in excellent condition for this fight. And Henry Janes, cornermen to our right, are imploring him to dig deep. It's a good uppercut by Ciaran Gethin, not too much power on it, but it did snap the head of Janes back. And you can see how much this Welsh title means to these two guys, the commitment and they've put so much into this fight. Good job by Ciaran Gethin, and landed a right hand and a right uppercut. As Gethin's fans in the arena start to chant. This really is an excellent fight, Oliver.
Yeah, and do you know what? The way Ciaran Gethin's responded to around that, I felt he lost in the last round, has been superb, and he's well on top in the 10th. And I didn't think he needed it to seal the win, but at the moment, I mean, it just puts the icing on the cake, really. He's boxed really well. He's not got engaged in any, like silly antics in the middle of the ring or on the ropes or anything like that. He's done everything that he wants to at his pace, and he's still throwing shots now whilst Janes is up against the ropes.
Yeah, Ciaran Gethin looks remarkably fresh considering the fight's been fought at such a frantic pace. Has a good half an uppercut by Janes on the inside. I think Janes can't seem to get any real power from his shots because Gethin's always keeping him off balance with his jabs and his right hands. Oh, lovely right hand by Gethin, snaps back the head of Henry Janes. It's the 10th and final round of this Welsh Championship contest. And this pretty much has been the pattern of the fight for the full 10 rounds. Both boxers just standing there trading, and that's the final bell. An excellent contest. Credit to both fighters, and all the fans here really love that. But we've got Ciaran Gething winning by a couple of rounds or 3 rounds.
I've got him up 97-93. A good, you know, a good, well-fought fight for the Welsh title there. Really enjoyed it. Henry Janes came out all guns blazing, winging in the big shots and landing in a great success. But Ciaran Gething weathered the storm. His quality shone through in the middle of the rounds in particular. Janes did pinch one towards the end, but I felt overall Ciaran Gething put in a very mature display at times. Didn't struggle with the gung-ho action of Henry Janes. And on my card, he is the new Welsh Heavyweight Champion.
With me now is the victorious Ciaran Gething. Ciaran, a tough fight clearly from the marks on your face. Talk us through your performance tonight.
It wasn't as smooth as I'd like it to be, but you know, he's a tricky guy, isn't he? And we both had fight of the year the past 2 years, and might have had another one there, hopefully. You know, those awards like that mean a lot, and I know it'll mean a lot for Henry to get something like that. It's just a shame he doesn't boil down and get to his real weight, because it's super lightweight. You know, we had a draw for the Celtic title. He very close. Although we weren't close on the scorecards, it was a close bout with me. I'm very proud that the referee scored it my way that far, and I enjoyed it. I love fighting, and I think I'm back, as long as he's healed nicely, I'm back out again in a month in Cardiff. So, you know, if anyone who enjoyed that and everyone here tonight can make it to that, you know, just get in touch with me, and maybe if my manager can pull out the bag, MDK, the biggest team in the world, they're going to get me another title on the next one, you know, a Celtic or something like that. It'd be amazing. So, yeah, I'm happy with the performance. Just I'm happy with the win, not too much with the performance. But if I'm not happy with the performance, I'm still winning by that margin, and it says something's going well in the gym.
Well, to your credit, I think nobody, or very few fighters have an easy night with Henry Janes just because of his style. He's willing to take a few shots to land a few shots.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you know, he was ducking and diving, coming in awkward angles. I think the biggest difference, along with my size, was the head movement. You know, shots where people usually stay high. I was coming underneath, and you know, he won't catch me with the ones off guard so much. It was maybe the elbows in the head, but you know, we were both doing the same in there. You know, so.
What does winning that Welsh title mean to you? I know this is your second attempt at winning the Welsh title, but what's that belt mean to you?
Well, the first one I lost by a whisker. You know, I was denied twice before that to get in there to fight for it. So finally getting it around my waist is amazing, and this is going to be in my family forever now. You know, I'm so proud. Can't wait to go home and show my wife, my mum and my kids, and I'm gonna have a nice big pizza tonight as well.
And you got a swell in there under your right eye. You seemed to come up very quickly. I mean, we just noticed it on commentary. He came up within a few seconds. Was that a clash of heads or a punch? Or
I think it was more of a clash of heads. Yeah, he didn't feel like he caught me with too many solid, clean shots. It was glazing shots, but they're the ones that do the damage too. You know, if you're letting him rub you up or catch you with the elbow. So it was obviously a hard bump, but Billy Reynolds did a great job in the corner. You know, he's real calm with the irons and didn't cut my face with the irons, which, you know, he's very experienced. We're credit to have him there.
So you mentioned you'd like to fight for a few titles next. I mean, are there any particular titles you've got in mind? Would you be interested in defending your Welsh title?
I'd love to defend the Welsh title, but I do want to keep moving forward at the same time and building momentum. And I know the Celtic title's vacant. There's international titles out there, you know, that are 10 rounders. I think I'd be steady for one of them as well. You know, it might have been a close contest for me and Henry, and he's a lot smaller than me, but I don't think there's anyone really who would trouble me too much for power in the division. Only the real top boys like. And as long as MTK, you know, do their job, then I think, which they will, I'm sure I'm going to win many more titles as well this year, hopefully.
Well, cheers, Ciaran. Congratulations on the win, and look forward to watching you fight for more titles in the future. Great, mate.